Hi, good evening everybody. In this video, is the Jack Eichel saga closer to being resolved? Yes or no? Let's take a look at this. Coming up. All right guys, I found an article yesterday I wanted to make a video on, but it was just too late last night. As you've seen, my other video went up late. It was just no way I would have got this done in time. So I wanted to get it up for tonight around 6, 7. I just got in not long ago, so I have to do this now. All right, I found this article. It was on TSN. It was of interest to me, and I want to go over this with you guys. It's only one clip I'm going to show you, but I found it really interesting. All right, so let's get that up for you guys. There you see it. Now, it's titled, Eichel Situation Closer to Being Resolved? Well, let's see what it says. Are we getting more clarity on where Jack Eichel could land or when a move might be coming? LeBrun, as he says. So what's happened here over the last 10 plus days, and Darren Dreger has told us at the outset of this, that this would happen, is that agent Pat Brisson has had the direct green light from the Buffalo Sabres general manager Kevin Adams to share more medical information with other teams. This has clarified a lot for some teams that are not in the periphery of this thing. So, number one, some teams are now comfortable with the artificial disc replacement surgery that Jack Eichel wants to have. Other teams, not so much. But at least there's some clarity either way. In the meantime, teams that have circled back to Kevin Adams, and Adams has circled back to them. What has happened in those discussions, I'm told, is that teams are saying we have to have a conditional component to any potential trade because we don't know what Jack Eichel is going to be like when he comes back. We don't know when exactly he'll be back, although that surgery suggests 4 months. And so what the Sabres have said is yes, we're going to have a conditional part to that trade. That's a big deal. That's a big development because teams can now feel a little more safely in entering the next phase in trade talks. I don't think a deal is imminent, but again, it's another step in the process here as everyone tries to get this deal done. So, as you can see there, the Sabres are finally starting to be a little flexible, guys. And I know some of you are probably a little frustrated hearing that, but I'll keep in mind why I think it's a good thing in a sec that we're not discussing, because now we're looking saying, oh my God, everything's going to be conditional. No, I don't think so. I think if it does become, it says, it could be. Doesn't mean every deal that goes down would be conditional. The Sabres will say, okay, we'll do a conditional trade, but we want 4 pieces, not 3. You get it? Negotiations, guys, negotiations, no matter what. So if it comes down to this, and they say, okay, we're not comfortable unless we have some sort of conditions in this, we can offer it now. We can offer it now. I mean, I think it's good because we've got to get a conclusion to this. We got to have a conclusion to this regardless. And then the only thing we got to worry about, guys, is Jack Eichel playing enough time on the team we traded him to. It's one less, it's a small thing to worry about than if we'll ever get a trade done. Let's get this trade done. If we have to give a condition, which you guys know how many videos I made, but not conditional. I was worried about the condition thing eventually, I was. But let's say it is conditional. I think we can then get 4. We can get 4 pieces out of this, if they're first rounder, which is really what they're talking about here. I mean, if they traded us some players, what are you gonna say? You have to give them back to us? It's not the way it works, right? But when it comes to their drafts, first rounders are the bread and butter of a franchise. Let's face it, it is. It's the main component to building a team is your first round draft picks. So when people give us a first rounder, if they're giving us 1 first rounder and then they're giving us, let's say a top 6 forward and again, a high prospect, well, those 2 are off the thing when it comes, of course, the guarantee of whatever we're guaranteeing them, So the worst part could be, I think, is that we wind up sadly with a second round pick because Jack is a disaster after this surgery. I've said all along, I believe that, I believe in the medical system that they can give this guy surgery and it can work. And they would, of course, it couldn't be, let's say Jack goes and gets injured and he injures a hip or something. And then again, you know what I mean? That wouldn't be in the deal. That wouldn't be in the condition. The condition would be, it would have to be that injury related situation that flared up, something went wrong, the surgery went wrong. He has to have another surgery, whatever it is, whatever disaster it could be. And I don't think it will come to that. So if we do give any kind of a condition, let's get this done. Really, let's get this done. And then we'll be pulling for Jack not to miss time wherever he is. That'll be our only worry, Let's say, I don't know how they're going to outline it, though. It's going to be a little tricky when you think about it, right? How are they going to outline exactly what the conditions are? I guess there would have to be a certain amount of conditions, 50 games played, I'm guessing, next year, things like this. But if he misses time, and it's not because of that injury, then of course we would have to worry still. That's the kind of conditions I'm sure that we would get back. I'm not sure, it can't be that if he doesn't play a full season or whatever it is. We'll have to see. We'll just have to see what's in writing. We don't know yet. But this kind of opens, for me, the possibility now of getting 4 pieces again, instead of the 3 I was talking about just recently. I think maybe now we can look at 4 pieces if we're going to concede to that, all right? Then they're going to have to maybe concede to 4 pieces, right? Because that's what we originally wanted. So we're saying, okay, we just want to get what we originally wanted for him, his value, okay? But we will have conditions. We'll agree to the conditions. Maybe it's 2 first-rounders, and we'll just have to say, okay, to one of them maybe is not conditional, maybe one is, maybe both are conditional. I just don't know, because there'll be 2 different years, most likely. So I'm guessing maybe the first year might be the condition that he gets in and he plays a certain amount of games after a surgery. There's just no way to know, guys. We'll have to see how this is outlined if a deal goes down. And if a deal goes down with something like this, yeah, there's going to be some frustration on our side. There will be, It's just sad, guys, that he wasn't healthy when we tried. We should have moved him last year when he started acting up about wins and losses. We should have moved him then. God, I got shot down in so many forums when I talked about we should trade Eichel now while his value's high. People have said, are you nuts? No, I wasn't. I wasn't. And then I just said, oh, well, he's back for another season, and I guarantee at the end of this year he's going to be bitching again about not making the playoffs if we don't get in. And it was a lot more, wasn't it? So we'll just have to play it out. We have to play it out. We have to go that route. We'll just have to see how this breaks down. But if we have to give conditions, guys, so be it. So be it, and let's see what that is exactly. What does it entail? So before judging this, I want to see a trade. I want to look at it. We'll talk about it when it happens. And let's look at another possibility. There might be a team that comes in and says, we're not going to ask for conditions. We'll make the same deal, and we take a little less from that team. There's that possibility too, don't forget. So the Sabres might, all of a sudden you got, instead of 2 or 3 teams interested, you have 10. You're going to go with the most secure one for your franchise. Bottom line, it's not where we're not going to just, everybody's going to say, okay, there's conditions. We'd have to be getting the best possible return to allow those conditions. I'm tired of talking to Jack. I got another video to make. All right, folks, let's leave that one there. You tell me what you guys think. I know that people were saying even just recently and on my channel, oh my God, there's no way we can put any conditions. We might have to. To get this done, guys, it's dragging, it's ugly. Let's get it over with and move on, Leave it at that. All right, guys, see you in the next video. I got one more to go.